Never before in all our history have these forces been so united against one candidate as they stand today. They are unanimous in their hate for me, and I welcome their hatred.
The needs of working families, the middle class, not just the billionaire class. We know what's going on. We are paying attention.
Good morning, everybody. How about that? You got echo at the end of that. It is the end of the corporate age. It's also the end of a nice, peaceful climate age. And this, well, first of all, Brom, thank you. You started off early with $10. I was going to say that in the chat, but I didn't have time. So thank you so much for that, Brom. It says, because I missed your awesome interview with Alexandria, and just because I love this channel, I still think we need a bus. Buses will be cheaper than yachts. I agree. And we're talking about, well, the peaceful solution would be shipping out our bad politicians. I think Brom's more interested in running them over. Either way, let me get the audio in on there. Laura, I have Laura live and good here. Morning, Laura.
Yeah, Brom, it hasn't seen the movie Almost Famous. My goodness, that's required viewing. Go watch it.
Oh,
it's good.
Yeah.
Best soundtrack
That's
ever.
an amazing, yeah.
And a bus named Doris, which is what I immediately thought of.
Almost Famous. Wow. That one Lori and I will be watching probably tonight. Thank you.
Yes.
I needed an escape
Oh
movie.
my gosh, that is the best.
Oh,
It is.
stop. FDR. I can never get FDR.
That's nothing against FDR, everybody. He's just yelling at the video clip that's starting his way.
It's, you know, the engineer sucks. I'm telling you.
Multitasking.
The engineer is, that's me.
Multitasking.
I'm a bad, really. It's Saturday too, and there's harvest going on. Everybody's got family stuff going on, or you're dealing with climate crisis, or you're dealing with something. We got a lot going on, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
We really do.
Yeah, we got all kinds of family things happening. Before I forget, can I give a big congratulations shout out to Adriel Hampton, our friend here in California, behind Gail McLaughlin's campaign. He and Stacy, his lovely partner, now have a 9-pound, 10-ounce baby boy that was born yesterday.
That's badass.
So that's badass for Stacy too. She's a tiny little thing. Anyway, big congratulations to Adriel on the birth of his son. That's exciting.
I hope it wasn't painful. Sounds painful. Ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can pretty much guarantee that there was pain involved. But you know, hey, it's all worth it.
That is.
And then our thoughts going out to Marcus's grandmother, and I think it's Marcus's mother, who's ill, and he's taking care of her. And Deniz, who's not with us today, his grandmother, his grandmother had a heart attack. I think because he was taking care of his grandpa,
right? Jeez,
because his grandmother is in the hospital. So yeah, so lots of family focus right now. I'm getting ready to move my son to Australia, not moving him, but who has been living with me for the last couple of years. And he's leaving.
What a mom! You're gonna move your son.
Yeah.
I know you're dealing with that.
Yeah,
he's going far.
That's
far
hard.
Away.
He's far away.
He's going somewhere where there's no water too. He knows that, right? That they're totally in super mega drought.
You know what? He's not even going to come outside. He's going to work, so he's just going to be wired into his computer and not paying attention to things.
Right.
Yeah, but no doubt. So
she produced a small walrus, says Real Chingy. We'll have to tell. Yes. I'm sorry. What's Israel's wife name? I'm sorry.
Stacy.
We'll have to, I'm sure she'll appreciate that.
Yes.
Somehow.
A new bruiser in the family, native San Francisco, 9 pounds, 10 ounce. Name and glamour shots to come. So we will keep you all posted if that happens while we're in the show.
Hi, all. Hi, Babs and Melissa and Real and Barbara and Brom and everybody else.
All 23 of you. Please like and share so we can reach 24.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes, please like and share. You guys kept us afloat again for a month. Appreciate that as well.
Yes.
With the donations. Appreciate that. I will continue to harass you about that. I haven't had time to push out any newsletters to the Action Network, so I'm just going to bug you more here. We still need your money, and really appreciate you coming in for us with the money for August, basically, because that's but understand. Thank you for bringing this up, Laura. I want to say this before I forget. Everybody's being censored. Abby Martin just got taken down. Telesur just got taken down.
Really?
Okay.
Abby Martin. Holy crap.
You've got Jimmy Dore being censored. You've got everybody is being censored. Okay. We, even though we're just a drop in the bucket, we affect Oregon politics. All right. We still affect the narrative. We're still important for what we do. Here's how this works. Here's why sharing content from you individually is so super important. Everybody lives in a search bubble. Okay. Your search, no matter what you search for, is going to be preferential to who you are and all of your purchasing history that data can that Google can data mine, that data can Google mine. Same thing. Okay. So it means that if they see that you watch Fox News or click on Fox News videos, when you search for something on the internet, you're going to be served Fox News related content about that subject. So you're not going to see other perspectives. The only way that happens is when friends' bubbles intersect. Okay, because I'm going to have different friends than Laura. We're never going to have two bubbles that are the same. And the chances are that I share a piece of content that somebody in Laura's bubble sees through her stream because she engaged on it or whatever, and they would not normally see that content in their own search. That's why sharing matters. All right, that was the technical blah, blah, blah. Just had to cover that. Thank you all for being here and listening to that crap. Back to the cover. This blew me away.
Yeah, what is that?
That is a snake. That is a snake in death. That was captured by a firefighter who was fighting a fire in Oregon.
Wow.
It is the Taylor Creek fire. Now, there's two people involved here. One is the person who saw the photo posted by the firefighter and wrote an article about it, and their perspective on the photo is interesting.
Yeah.
Okay? Because their perspective of it is, I saw the iconic "Don't Tread on Me" image in this snake. Okay?
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, that's one way to look at it. And so I'm just going to read a little bit. This says, Dustin Davis, 32, of College Place, Washington, shot the photo of a rattlesnake frozen in its fiery death throes on Wednesday, August 8th, 2018 at 12:55 p.m. local time during the early stages of the Taylor Creek fire in Oregon. Davis was fighting as the fire as a member of the 3rd Battalion, 116th Cavalry Regiment of the Oregon National Guard.
Fancy.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's an amazing photo, and then this author wrote about it, and what he wrote was, that he sees, obviously, the patriotism in it, the don't tread on me, I'm going to be defiant, whatever you are, and the snake stands up, and then what happens? Climate change is like, I don't give a fuck, right? And that's what at first I was like, how could he not see our impending doom in this? He sees don't tread, but I get it now. This is humanity's response to climate change. Okay. This is exactly what we're doing. Yeah. We're like, and we're dying.
Yeah. And we're gonna be frozen like that and burned up with our, defiant face on, and what good will that have done?
Yeah. So I thought it was poignant. Yeah. I thought sad. And anyway. That's why the cover. I was gonna go with something a little lighter. I saw this. I can't even do Photoshop. This is great stuff. This is Trump in prison.
Aww.
And it's got all his Putin posters and picture of his rally in the back there. A cat hanging. I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Hang on, baby. That's the old "Hang On, Baby" poster.
Oh, okay. And then what looks in the...
He's got Betty and Veronica down below.
Thank you. You know more of the...
Hey. I like all the shirtless Putin stuff. Oh, and the picture of his inauguration rally. That's good.
This is just so...
and his hair as it would really be.
Yeah. Trump when he's not allowed a hairdresser and product.
And he's holding a copy of Water Sports. How cute.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a nice one. Anyway, just had to share. I thought I'd be
Yeah.
a little more serious with the climate change since it is really devastating. Lucky for Hawaii, I know they got catastrophic flooding because that happens, and a shit ton of rain a lot. But at least Hurricane Lane became Hurricane Lame, and dwindled
Just a
down.
lot of rain. My uncle lives in the Big Island, just said amazing sideways rain and lots of water in the streets. But nothing, it was Category 2 before it hit. So
Amazing the response, though, to Hurricane Lane, because my God, the world was ready. Trump was ready, and FEMA was ready, and everybody was ready because we have giant fucking military installation on Hawaii. That's why.
Of course.
It's not Puerto Rico, everybody. It's not Puerto Rico. All right, so what else? What I got to tell you? The state of UHM. Thank you all for still being here. Charles Mon is running for office still, and so just know that. Here's a picture of Charles. If you're in Corvallis, vote for Charles, or in whatever county it's probably in Benton County, probably be on your list. Anyway,
We're going to interview him on the 10th.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
That's right, the 10th. So
yeah, because you want to do it on Labor Day, and like, nope.
I'm just shamelessly plugging Charles.
Yeah,
That's
Charles is awesome.
Because I can, on the Saturday show anyway. This next thing is really effing cool, though. We're going to talk about what's going on Facebook's, well, a conversation on Facebook, but really it's with Valdez Bravo and what's going on with the Unity vote, which is happening right now. As a matter of fact, if I could, I would check my Facebook to see if Valdez has a vote, because they're voting right now on the Unity reforms for the Democratic Party. And there has been a very interesting round of discussions going on. Valdez Bravo posting some information about some things that have happened with the DNC backpedaling on the taking of fossil fuel money and why that happened. And then Valdez pushed out a very well-written, well-said statement about it all. And so there's a lot I'm going to talk to you about. This is so that everybody understands what we're seeing. This is
okay.
The progressive movement.
Incoming.
What's up?
I'm thrilled to announce that we at the DNC have just voted to adopt the DNC reforms.
There it is.
Just posted that just a second ago. The DNC has just adopted the Rules and Bylaws Committee proposals based on the recommendations of the Unity Reform Commission. Boom.
Wow. All of them? Is that
all of them.
Valdez who says it? Is it? Do you know?
Yeah, that's him.
Wow.
That's what he said.
That's huge. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's a victory. All right. I want to read the details from Valdez, but that's a huge victory for progressive Democrats. Okay. It's not this is about the Democratic Party. So when everybody starts talking about, well, the party sucks, party is a chunk of the party just took power and just pushed reform in the party. Tom Perez was both an advocate of the reforms and an advocate of the backpedaling at the same time. I just don't understand how you can do that.
Yeah. No more superdelegates, Brom. I don't know if that superdelegate is more at the national level.
No.
This is Oregon level, right?
Well, no. This is national.
National.
This is national. Valdez Bravo and Gene Atkins, which, by the way, Gene, you probably won't watch the Saturday show or get this far into it, but I respect you. I'm just disagree with you on some core democratic principles, but that's what democracy is all about. So just understand that. It's respect as a human, but
well, that's the thing that Nina was talking about yesterday. I think they had a big session.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. Okay, I'm clued in.
Yeah.
Now.
Thomas stuck in who we're talking about. Thomas, yeah, it was weird. I'm going to try to tell you about all the things that went down because I've been following this and it's been exciting. So I've got a lot of slides. I just got to make sure. So let's talk about the Unity Commission and the fossil fuel thing that just occurred and why. So this was posted. The one on the left is Valdez Bravo's statements, thoughts on the whole fossil fuel money taking. I'm going to read it to you. So I want to share my thoughts related to Democratic National Committee's recent decision to accept fossil fuel money. While the DNC chairman and executive committee leadership have drawn a distinction between accepting money from fossil fuel companies and accepting fossil fuel money from their workers, which is what they were trying to say. Trying to say, well, this is the union of gasoline workers. Why won't you take our money? Right. Well, all right. So that was what they're trying to say. Let me be clear. Valdez says, I oppose the DNC accepting money from organizations and industries that run counter to our values. That would be fossil fuels. All right. The investment in fossil fuels. It's not about the workers. okay, which is what they're trying to make it about. It's not about the workers. It's about taking the workers' money as it is related to fossil fuels, which counters our feelings about climate change and fossil fuels. All right. While the current DNC reform proposals emanating as recommendations from the Unity Reform Commission show not just significant but historic progress in achieving real change within the Democratic Party, we still have work to do. There are key aspects of the URC's recommendations which were not included in these reforms. We must continue to push for the addition of structural changes that further democratize our organization and which create more transparency and oversight. All right. Now, I don't know. What I want to know on this vote is, did they choose not to go this direction? No, never mind. I know how they chose to do on this vote. This vote has been shelved. I'm sorry. So understand this. The unity vote is separate from the fossil fuel vote. The fossil fuel vote has been shelved until the winter session.
Yeah.
Okay. Because they've made it an issue of labor. And what they're saying, and that's what Tom Perez was trying to say, was that it was an issue of labor. At the same time saying we need to embrace the reforms, which doesn't make any sense, Tom, at fucking all. All right. The discussion we were having in Facebook on this, which included Jean Atkins, who is the chair of the Oregon Democratic Party. She weighed in on this, she respectfully weighed in and added her viewpoints, and there was a conversation going on, which was really cool for me as an Oregonian who's a Democrat going, I'm discussing this with the people in power that represent me at a state level and my party that are going to take this is important. That's democracy working, right? But Jean's point was to say you can't disclude the labor people, and if you don't take their money, then you're insulting them or you're making them feel left out. It's like, why can't, and Valdez Bravo had the point, all right? Valdez Bravo had the point. This quote is just from somebody else who was talking about her husband being an ex-Chevron worker, but I'm going to read what Valdez had to say. She's a nurse, right? It says, healthcare and fossil fuels are very different industries. That being said, I think we as a party should fight for all workers, whether they contribute or not. In other words, why can't we help the workers in the fossil fuel industry and just not take their fucking money? That's, what would that say to them? Look, you guys, keep your money. Or put it into a 527, which is a completely different kind of money pack that you can put in. It has nothing to do with your fossil fuel industry. Do that instead of donating it to your fossil fuel pack. Okay? Or hold on to it for yourselves because you're going to need it because we want to transition you into other jobs. Right? But why do we have to take their money to say that we're going to support them? That's the whole point of the Unity Commission, is to stop using money as the marker for support. Boom. Boom. So Valdez said all this, all right? And it's a brilliant discussion. And obviously they just, at least on the rest of the reforms, they voted to accept them. I was going to show you guys something even cooler. Here. This is Valdez at the meeting with a bunch of folks, all right? And he's right there. Understand, Valdez Bravo is the second in command, basically, along with, I don't remember her name right now, but there's two vice chairs, okay? He's going to be running for chair. That puts him in a position of power, greater position of power. He's a progressive. Do you understand what this means to the Oregon Democratic Party? When everybody's like, we can't take power, its system's rigged. Really? Okay. Well, we're unrigging it. One corrupt piece of shit at a time.
Yeah.
All right. So here, just real quick. This was sent yesterday. This was a letter written by, I believe, 34 of the state party chairs. This includes Jean Atkins on it. And it includes Valdez Bravo. I think it includes Valdez. It's all the chairs, so it's not this. But it includes Jean Atkins. It includes Tina Podlodowski, who's the chair for the Washington Democratic Party. And they basically say, look, you better adopt this shit. And here's all their signatures. I mean, that's power and progress at a national level. That's huge. Congratulations, progressives.
Yay. Yay.
Yeah, congratulations. What's up, Charles? Oh, hey, Charles. Charles needs everybody's help. Go to that link. Give him money. Help him. Progressives can't win unless we support them. Hey, all 33 of you. Dang.
Yeah.
Dang. All right, moving on. Laura, any comments or feelings about that, Laura?
No, I think that's enormously exciting. I like the part that they highlighted in there that says this slate of reform is so much more than the superdelegate question.
Yes.
This is about party building at the state level.
Yes.
And that's exactly what we're talking about. So I like that.
It is.
Right on.
And just, again, thank you, Valdez, 100% for your support, for your progressive boldness, and for standing up to the values, right? Here's moving on. Here's a list of some Dems that don't stand up to those values. And these are the people that we will be targeting for 2020.
Yeah.
Or the opposition we will be opposing. Right. Kurt Schrader, Ginny Burdick, Oregon State House Reps John Lively, Kathy McEwen, Susan McLean, Brad Witt. Mike Neerman is on there just because he's a special. He's not a Republican. I think he's he is a Republican. I'm sorry. He's a Republican from Independence, Oregon. He's just not good. That's related to the Map the Money project. And we've been doing some awesome research on that. Wednesdays at 7, when Larry and I have new data to show, and we will this Wednesday, join us for that, because it's the data that we're looking at for how we're going to attack these incumbents and get rid of them. This is what our data is showing everybody, that they do bench building, which is what we need to do. They do bench building with the younger ones. John Lively, he's like $30,000 to put him in office. But he's got donations, small donations from every frickin' corporation and every PAC. He's a Democrat, supposedly. And he throws the right votes here and there to show them that he's willing to throw votes. This is all like a mob mentality thing. So votes are thrown for dollars. Power is used to kill votes. That's Ginny Burdick. She's a vote killer. And it's a coordinated effort. When you start looking at it, you can see where the new ones get a lot of little chunks of money invested by all these corporations who are building their investment into that corporate politician. And they're like, it's okay. You don't have to do much right now. Throw a vote or two over here. We know it's not going to matter. We know it's going to pass. We just want to see that you're willing to vote nay. Are you willing to vote against your party? Right? It's like a blood test, a blood oath, right? So they do this, and we've got vote tossers and bill killers, not kill billers. This is Ginny Burdick. I just want to show you guys. She's one of the more loaded, and she's got power. Okay? She's moved up. So she's a state Senate person. She's the majority leader. So a majority leader in Oregon costs about $400,000 to stick in office. That's for this year. That's for 2018. All right. Funds by sector. Okay. Doesn't look that bad this way. Finance, insurance, real estate, health, labor, general business. Funds by industry. Doesn't look that bad this way. Insurance, uncoded, health professionals, telecom. I mean, it's all business and stuff, but nothing sticks out. Oh, wait a minute. Comcast. Comcast is 7% of her current campaign funding. There's a lot of other stuff in here when you start looking at the actual people and what these represent, what these institutions are. AT&T is over there, Kroger's over there, right? But wait, there's more. So Ginny Burdick is the Senate Majority Leader. She is also the Senate Interim Committee. She's the chair on the Rules and Executive Appointments. That's a lot of power, as we've learned from Larry, right? So what this means is that when a bill arrives from the House, she can say, well, it doesn't meet this requirement or that requirement, doesn't do this or that, so I'm going to send it to the Rules Committee, and in the Rules Committee, which is what she is, they can just leave it there. Or they can say, nope, send it back to the House. This is how bills die. And her and Peter Courtney control what bills live or die in Oregon Senate. Here's where it all comes together. House Bill 4027 is an example. So this was a tax break repeal that it basically what happens is the House passed a bill saying we need to repeal this tax break for Comcast and Frontier and other organizations based on whatever it does here. The innards of the deal aren't important. It was just giving them a $15 million a year tax break, all right, And it got to Ginny, who takes a lot of money from Comcast, who would lose a lot of money if this tax break repeal happened. And she said, oh, it's really a shame. This is her quote. It says, I'm really disappointed we weren't able to get that one over the finish line, said Senate Majority Leader Ginny Burdick, who chairs the Rules Committee where House Bill 4027 died. She said the measure didn't clear the House early enough to avoid a potential Republican slowdown. And with the legislature set to adjourn Saturday or Sunday, she said the clock ran out on the bill. This happens every session, Burdick said, but you have to prioritize things, and this one, frankly, we would have lost anyway. Thomas Baker, Comcast's Salem lobbyist and Burdick's former chief of staff, did not respond to a call seeking comment. Do you see the connection there? Now, something else that I didn't know that Larry pointed out that really made me go, was that apparently Senate did have the time to approve some kind of fucking pie for Multnomah County in relation to the Democratic Party or something like that. Some absolutely bullshit, meaningless, worthless, stupid legislation had no problem being prioritized.
Pie?
Yeah, some kind of pie or something to do with the Marionberry, something absolutely fucking stupid.
Like pie.
Yeah,
Okay,
like literally something stupid.
Yeah. Like California going all out about plastic straws while the...
No, even that has much more significance.
Yeah,
I'm
it is
literally
true.
talking about naming a berry or a pie that has something to do with... Just you know, that cleared. I'll have to get the right bill number for you, but literally,
State pie.
when we talk about how do we prioritize things, well, they get prioritized by how many millions of dollars the companies that donate to Ginny Burdick and Peter Courtney will save by having this bill die, right? That's what a bill killer is, right? And if you look at her voting record, it's great because she never has to vote on any of the bills that would make her look bad. She kills them all.
Kendra just said that Nina Turner just reported that superdelegates will no longer vote on the first ballot.
Right. That is the, by the way, yeah, let's explain what that is. So the superdelegates are not removed. Okay, let's be clear. They still exist. What they are is they only get a vote on if there is a contention with the first round of voting, and then it goes into a second round. Okay. We forced that the last time, but it didn't matter. Okay. This time, if the people's vote counts, then it'll never get to the superdelegates needing to be called on. Right? Now, if the people's vote is rigged or something screwy goes on the floor during the convention, then who knows? And that's still I don't know what can happen there. Right? We never know what the corrupt establishment is going to pull. So we'll just have to wait and see. But it basically renders superdelegates useless, void on the first vote, which is what counts.
And so they will no longer be able to start throwing those numbers in to primary victories, right?
Yes.
Like they did for Hillary.
They shouldn't be able to. That's a good question.
They
I don't know how
will,
that
you
works.
know, they will. There will be, the MSM will just throw this in there and it'll be like, that's wrong. It's like,
Right. They'll have some theoretical superdelegate count. You're absolutely right. They'll find a way to make sure those numbers count.
Yeah, Darcy, and you said the same thing I just said. Will superdelegate intentions be mentioned by the MSN? No doubt. They will go down. They'll whatever will makes their candidates look like winning.
Every one of this. Think about it, because the responses. If you read the responses from the superdelegates, it's just fucking arrogance. Just arrogance. I'm sorry. Let me take that back. Valdez Bravo is a superdelegate. He's happy with having his superdelegation's powers. He's like, I don't give a shit. Okay. The ones that care about their power are the ones complaining. How dare you think that my specialness, because I'm special, doesn't get to count more than you as a human being in this democracy? Fuck you. That's literally
I know what
they're
this
saying.
country needs, and I will make sure it gets it.
Right. Because I've been given a lot of money to assure it.
Yeah. Oh, Melissa clarifies that the Marionberry pie is the official pie of Oregon. So there you go.
That's what they fucking prioritized in Senate over taking away Comcast and Frontier's tax break, which represented...
The Marionberry lobby must be very strong.
You know what? I don't even like fucking Marionberry pie. It's gross. Jesus. I don't care. Yes, and I'm an Oregonian. I don't care.
Yeah, blackberry's much better.
It is. And that's the only reason blackberries aren't the pie is because that's an invasive weed here. Everybody hates the fucking blackberries up here. You pick what you need and you hate the rest. So, yeah, I get it. It feeds the wasps.
Larry says that Valdez wasn't a superdelegate. He's arguing with you in chat.
Well, then I want to read Valdez's statement on Facebook because he says something. He sure sounded to me like he said he was or is now. Either way, he's against the superdelegates. If he's not a superdelegate, I stand corrected. But I believe he was something. Anyway, I'll look for that.
Something that he was willing to give up.
I'll look for that statement because he made a lot of statements about it. And then basically what he said was, don't want the power. So I kind of thought, anyway. Thank you for the correction, Larry. Boycott Marion Berry pie.
Well, all pie is really good. It's hard to boycott anything, but that would make a statement.
Look, I bake stuff. I'm just joking. Right?
Yeah.
I have an orchard. Okay, whatever. I'm just joking. Valdez is a superdelegate now, not. Okay, well, okay, thank you.
But he wasn't. Okay.
Okay, thank you. That's
okay.
Then that's why he was talking about it. Okay, but he doesn't care about the power. Is what I was saying, right? He did say there's a. You like Chuck Berry? Oh, jeez. It is the
this
Saturday
is devolving.
Show. Yeah,
we're devolving.
It is. All right, Laura, why don't we talk about primary updates?
Primary updates. Yes, we've got the Florida primary coming up on Tuesday, and that is obviously something we are watching very closely. The people that we interviewed from Florida, Tim Canova, of course, running against Debbie Wasserman Schultz. And I think I have got a little video of him and Debbie talking briefly about immigration. Just for a little, we haven't had DWS grace our show in a while. We can get to renew our
yes
feelings for her.
I like to make fun of her. It's fun.
Yeah. So and as you know, he switched from Democrat to Independent halfway through the race, and
doing well.
So the other one,
heard, right?
Huh? What?
Is he doing well? I mean, do we know any?
I certainly hope so. He did pretty well in 2016. So I think that we had a couple more years of seasoning, and Debbie doesn't have the funds behind her or the support she just and she's just ridiculous. She puts out tweets saying, "Oh, yeah, let's all vote against the big polluters," and it's like, oh, honey, really?
Yeah, I know. I know. That's what corporate Dems do. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, we should have Tim on soon. Well,
yeah. Do you have that video?
Oh, right. We're supposed to play.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's your cue, honey.
I know. Hang on. Jeez. All right. You can all just look at my face while I get this video ready because I didn't have it ready. I was just sitting there listening to you. Hang on. All right.
It's Facebook. You probably have to start twice, right?
Who knows? Yeah. These Facebook videos. All right, here we go.
One of the issues that your opponent has raised was your support in 2011. And I think we have actually the letter that you and Senator Bill Nelson signed supporting the for-profit prison to be built in Southwest Ranches. Was that support in 2011 a mistake?
First of all, let's be clear on what that center was. That was an immigration detention center. That was an immigration detention center.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
It was not a prison. And so I know but there's a big difference between an immigration detention center and a prison. There's a big difference between an immigration detention center and a prison. There's a big difference between an immigration detention center and a prison. There are prisons all the way out west.
But it was a for-profit entity that was going to run it.
That was actually sought by the town of Southwest Ranches.
Was it a mistake to send that letter in hindsight?
No, it wasn't a mistake to be able to try to assist,
U.S. Senator Bill Nelson and Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz arrived to tour this just-revealed compound in Homestead.
We have actually the letter that you and Senator Bill Nelson signed supporting the for-profit prison.
They obviously are hiding something.
The letter that you and Senator Bill Nelson signed.
Dirty little liars.
This was an important economic driver.
What the hell is wrong with you people?
Was it a mistake to send that letter?
It was a bad decision, and for-profit prisons and for-profit detention centers are not a good idea.
You're a smart motherfucker, that's right.
This election is really not about Debbie Wasserman Schultz, and it's not about me. It's about the kind of democracy we want to have in the future.
But she has repeatedly lied publicly to the press, to Congress, to the American people. There's a big difference between an immigration detention center and a prison.
Oh my.
That was great.
That was ridiculous. Yeah.
I had just to watch the first couple minutes of it, and I thought it was just going to be a pretty straight interview clip. And that was great. Who are you?
I want to know who Tim. If Tim put that together, he got skills. If someone else put that together for him, wow, that was a smart motherfucker.
Yeah. That's awesome. Oh my God. So, and now our next, the other person that we interviewed was Chardo Richardson. Love him, 7th District in Florida. I have not heard how his race is going, but he's one of our Justice Dems candidates. Just a great guy. So we're giving good thoughts to him as well. I don't have a video for him.
What was the second? Oh, this is Andrew Gilliam, right?
This one, Andrew Gilliam, who we should have had him on, didn't know he existed. Recently endorsed, though, by Bernie, running for governor of Florida, and seems like a total badass. And we've got his campaign video.
Yeah, we do.
We do.
Are we ready to play it? Shit.
Yeah, right on. But he looks great. So we've got several people that we'll be watching on Tuesday.
The way democracy works is that you have to have the fierce urgency of this moment, the fierce urgency of now. And that even when we don't get what we want, we show up the next day, and the next day after, and the next day after, until enough is enough and true gun reform happens. Because you want to know what I believe? I believe that weapons of war belong in the military and not on our city streets. I also believe that we ought to do everything that we can to make sure that we keep guns off campus, off Florida State's campus, off Fairview campus, off the campuses of our high school. We're going to finally achieve real comprehensive, common sense gun law reform where people's lives, our very lives, are valued over somebody's ability to carry a gun. Enough is enough, and never again means never again, and it starts right now, thanks to every one of you. You're speaking for the kids and the generation of tomorrow so that they don't have to take this very same march that you're taking today. I believe that we will win. 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 Gun control now. Gun control now.
Wow.
Say he's running on a strong gun control platform, would you?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. That was pretty badass.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's my report for primaries. And then beyond Florida, thank you for putting up the slide with the rest of them. We've got Massachusetts coming up on September 4th. We talked to Bill Sombrillo from there. Delaware on the 6th, New Hampshire on the 11th, Rhode Island on the 12th, New York on the 13th, and Louisiana on November 6th. Their primaries on the same day as the general. I don't know how that works. And what's December 8th? It's got an asterisk by it.
I have no idea. Louisiana's got some weird stuff going on.
Yeah.
So
anyway, that's our primary focus, gang.
And what's this? Oh, this is a rally? You got this?
No, this was this is when Bernie endorsed him. This was on the 17th. That was last weekend.
All right. So yeah, Bernie endorsed. You know, he's the guy.
Yeah.
All right. And, you know, maybe he wins. We can get him on there.
Yeah.
Geez, Florida. I'm just going to say, if you want to not be underwater or on fire, I would vote for a guy who actually believes in climate change. You know, just suggesting. But whatever.
Just saying.
Hey, Brom. So you like Bill, huh? I've been hearing some interesting things about him. I'm not sure one way or the other. So, yeah. But I wish him the best. Wish him the best. Thank you for that update, Laura Livengood.
You're welcome.
Let's see. So, what do I have? I have some Oregon 2020 updates here as well. We love Vote Smart. Please let them know. We're still working with them. We're still working on the prototype, and I've got, you know, we talked a little about that, but just go to Vote Smart. Go there, look up a politician in your neighborhood, take a look at where they get their money from, and do a screen grab and share it. Mm-hmm. You'll be very surprised. You really will. All right, we're going to talk about climate change. Okay. So the cover, obviously, about climate change. We're going to talk a little bit more about it. Roundup, the recent Roundup lawsuit where they had the, was it $300 million almost for the one guy? Mm-hmm. That opens the door for about 8,000 other lawsuits. That's cool.
Yeah.
Maybe we can kill Monsanto. I had to just get this meme for Florida because it's so perfect. Why can't you just be normal? I love... That's Florida. I love you. I love you all down there, but really, I just say that. Also on climate change, this is Plant Burger. I think I told you guys that I had tried Beyond Meat, which was the plant-based protein. It's basically a beef, but they've added some science where they've used... go watch the goddamn video. I don't explain it. It's really good. It's the first veggie burger that's been built kind of scientifically, and it actually tastes like burger, has texture like burger because they found the same proteins in plants that do the same as the beef proteins, right? And so this is for Brian Cheeseman and for anybody else who's looking for a meat alternative. This is the first one that Lori and I will actually eat.
Oh, is this in your kitchen?
Yeah.
You made this.
So this is what I did was because we don't eat a lot of burgers, and quite frankly, if I'm going to buy a burger, I really prefer a fast food burger, believe it or not. And so that's a rarity for us. Anyway, I said, what else can you do with this shit? Like, can you use it like ground beef? And what could I put it in? So this was my first attempt. I made cabbage rolls with it, and it worked. So yes, you can. Maybe I'll try it in mac and cheese next or something. But it's
tacos.
Yeah, there's a good one. That would be.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow,
that'd make good taco meat.
Yeah. What we noticed. So a couple weird things about it is you can eat it like that. It's not really raw. It doesn't really need to be cooked. If you cook it, it chars though because it has proteins in it that actually char and fats in it that actually immerse from the meat. Nice. So if you want that cooked, but it already. The other thing that's weird is it already smells done. Right? When you think about what raw beef smells like as opposed to cooked beef, this doesn't transition. It's already smells like done beef, but it doesn't smell like beef. It smells like all of the aromas that would make up beef, but you recognize them as separate aromas. You're like, there's a little nutty in there, and there's a woody flavor, and there's a smoky flavor, and there's a this flavor, and they all make it.
Wine tasting.
It is. We think it actually tastes better than real beef. It's just not quite the texture. Like they can do this with burger. They just can't do. They haven't made a steak. You know what I mean? They're gonna have to really work hard to do like a steak, right? But anyway, this is a good alternative, and I believe you could. Yeah, Laura Livengood, like the In-N-Out. You probably couldn't fake an In-N-Out burger lover, but you could fake a McDonald's burger lover and throw one of these on there, and they wouldn't know the fucking difference. Right?
Melissa says they do chicken too.
I haven't seen the chicken. That would be great if they do chicken. I have not seen the chicken. Safeway only carries the hamburger, but apparently they do sausages. And I've heard there's seafood done this way. But when I discussed that with Lori, she was like, no fucking way. So.
Like what Brown said, I had, true story, I'd been a vegetarian for about 3 years. And I passed by an In-N-Out one day and said, fuck it.
And what did you think?
I'm sure it was worth it every bite.
Yeah.
Double animal style.
In-N-Out is the only fast food that might actually make me consider going Christian again, because that's what they are. Like, I'd fake it just to have access to their food. I love their burgers. It's good food. Anyway.
I think you could buy them even if you're not a Christian.
I know you can. It's amazing the way they are. They pay their employees a living wage too, or something close to it, or better.
Yeah, well, employees can do very well at In-N-Out Burger. I saw an article this week about that.
Yeah, they can. Your diner in town serves the Beyond Burger? That's crazy. A&W is selling them as a burger, by the way. I wonder what they cost, though, because two patties that are a quarter pound each are $6.50 at Safeway. It's a little pricey.
Yeah.
All right.
Is that the same as the Ultimate Burger?
I don't know. What's the Ultimate Burger?
I just have seen that on menus. It's a vegetarian burger, so I'm imagining it's something similar.
If it doesn't, so Beyond Meat is a trademarked, registered brand. So if it doesn't say that on there, I don't know. You would think they'd want to mention that. I don't know. Beets resemble blood. Yeah, exactly. The beets. Yeah. Well, yeah. Mercury-free seafood. Yeah, I would guess. I guess that's what it is.
That would be nice.
All right, moving on from that. Just one more thing on climate I want to show you. We have a pond. We built a little pond. It's got 2 levels. And, well, we have an orchard, a little orchard. And so we built a pond. And the life, insects and snakes and frogs and mice and fish, stuff. It's amazing what has shown up just around this little pond that we've made. So I've decided I'm going to do a project that has nothing to do with nothing, called Planet Pond. And I will be making this video over the next year or two just to document all of the life. This is a picture of a giant yellow garden spider. We've got like 3 or 4 of them hanging out.
Ooh, those are cool.
It's huge.
Except when you walk into their web and the spider's right in front of your face,
yes.
And that could be a little bit too close.
Yes, and we're talking the body of the spider is as big as my middle finger nail, right? So it's pretty big there, and they're huge.
See what you did there.
So, anyway, it's really cool. We got this red-headed garter snake that eats fish. Our fish, because we bought like 6 feeder fish for $5 and threw them in there. They got all big. Then they made babies. We found out one of the babies must have got sucked into the pump, and now it's living as a single up in the top pond, and it's huge. Right?
Do you have a sound clip there?
Well, this is just a picture. I took some footage yesterday, but what I want to do is do it like Planet Earth. Like the amazing. I have 4K in some cameras, but I want to shoot it like Planet Earth, and edit it out and impersonate. Planet. What's his name? I can't even think of his name. Richard Attenborough.
Yeah.
I want to do it that way. I want to make it like.
I want
to make it like an epic, just with my camera work.
Yeah.
So, but there's stories to tell about each one of these creatures, because we see them all the time and we see what they do, and we can see how the ecosystem came together. Right? You create an environment where they can flourish, and you've got dragonflies that are nymphs in the water underneath, and then they emerge from the pond. You've got all the wasps use it as a place to take a bath and cool off and not drown. It's just...
A spider waits in stealth for its next victim.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the lone fish is still alone.
Yeah, exactly. So
I do the voiceovers.
Sure. I'd love that. You join me in the voiceovers. Anyway, I just want to let you guys know that I'm doing this project, and it has absolutely nothing to do with anything. It's just because I need something to do. But hopefully once I'm done with it, you guys will like it, and maybe we can use it to fundraise or, I don't know, promote the idea of a planet. Because if you think about how much life that I'm going to show you around my pond alone, and then think about the impact of our destructive tendencies in fuel and how much life we've killed, it's really sad. So, okay, maybe there is a point to this. It's always about environment. Anyway, I just want to let you know, guys, I was going to do that. Last week on UHM, man, we're running out of time here. Last week we did privileged motions on Robert's Rules of Order. Guys, did we talk about everything else last week?
That was all we had last week.
Was that it? Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, you had no. What happened on?
No.
You did the world. Oh no, it's next week. Didn't you have a Progressive Oregon last week?
We did have a Progressive Oregon. We talked about the. I didn't even put it up there. We talked about what happened at the SEC meeting.
Yeah. Oh,
right?
Okay.
Which was a big deal, and we've seen results of that at the national level as well, right? So progressive movement taking over in Oregon, at least in Oregon. What are you guys doing in California, huh?
I don't know. Adriel's having a baby, so things
right.
got a little slowed down.
I'm
sure Gail is working really hard to put together the Progressive Alliance, but I think things are we're ramping up now for the general.
Yeah.
But there is that one in California. Is that guy in San Diego that got indicted for campaign fraud that Amar Kampa is running against, and the latest was that he was blaming it all on his wife.
Hunter or whatever.
Duncan Hunter. There you go.
Yeah.
What a peach. I was totally because his wife was his campaign manager. Totally her fault. I had nothing to do with it. Like, tried to think how long that marriage is gonna last.
Hard to live on $180,000 a year, apparently.
I know.
Asshole.
Yeah, that was kind of enjoyable, actually, watching that unfold.
Yeah.
I really want to get Amar Kampa-Najjar on, and I will try his campaign again.
All right. Yeah, and if you guys, I mean, I'm open to do more We the People's, maybe a shorter format. I actually reached out to Valdez Bravo. He hasn't responded, but when he gets back, I'd really like to just have him talk about what happened. Yeah. At the thing. But yeah, California. We're open to interviewing people. It's just that we don't have the resources to be reaching out all over the place. Laura doesn't. We're kind
of focusing on people who reach into us, and then we say yes.
Yes.
So. Hint, folks, if you would like to be on our show, info@uphillmedia.org, info@uphillmedia.org. Please send us an email. Say, I want to be on. What dates do you have?
Yep. That's just to address them in the chat there, folks. Thank you, Babs. Glad you think it's cool. Although you're arachnophobic, Barbara.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Jimmy Sinclair, I'm working on proposition videos for California. Great. Share them with us, Jimmy.
That's great.
Share them with us, and we'll get them out there to our vast viewing audience.
Absolutely. And I know the Gray Wolf vote. Melissa, the Gray Wolf vote actually that was you're right. That was a help with the resurgence.
Yeah.
We have spiders indoors and outdoors. Just saying, Barbara. I like them indoors. They do a lot of good. Except when obviously they get in the way sometimes. But yeah, I hear you. Anyway, what else we got going on?
So we got next week at UHM. We got Rural Democrats tomorrow.
Right. Here. Bing. So this is going to have Nancy Greenman and then two other people, I think, at least one other person that I don't know their names. I'm the one who reached out to Nancy because I know her. There are 3 different rural counties, and we're just going to have a conversation about what's going on in the Dem party in the rural counties. We originally were supposed to be Dem chairs from rural counties. Nancy is a former chair, but current leader of the Neighborhood Leadership Program, and that's been kicking ass to take names. Yes, in Oregon, down here in Lynn County. So join us tomorrow at 10 a.m. for that, and we'll talk about rural Oregon. And I'd really like to get more of rural Oregon involved in all of the process. That's what this technology was really designed for. So if you're in rural Oregon and you want to be involved with helping to reach more rural Oregonians about the progressive movement, please, I'd like to work with you. Especially like Southern Oregon Our Revolution and other rural Our Revolutions and JDs and whatnots out there. Why don't I like it's just stinky and messy, Bill. Neem oil. And I can control pests because I don't need, and here's the real thing, when you just let your environment, you take care of the environment that grows around it, everything comes into balance, the food we take to the market is spray and pesticide free, 100%. We just do it. If you take time to manage the land and the species that are on the land and plant the right things and do the right things to the soil that bring the right species to the land, it all takes care of itself. It really does. It's kind of like the environment. Take care of it, it'll be nice and smooth. Do what we do to it, and you get what we get. The Genesis planet weather. I forgot to talk about Genesis planet weather. Shit. I was looking for that clip. We'll go there at the end. I got stuff at the end. All right, so Rural Democrats tomorrow. And then after that, I don't think it's privileged motions. This was last week. But whatever.
I don't know what is next.
Next week is incidental motions. Or tomorrow is incidental motions. All right, so ignore this. Tomorrow is incidental motions. I had that card somewhere. I don't know what I did here. Anyway, the real one that you want to catch is the one after that. The following Sunday is going to be nominations and elections, which has a lot to do with those processes in your meetings, right? And all the powers that you have and all the power the chair doesn't have in those meetings and how you can make sure those nominations and elections happen and the roles that you can apply for, right? So that's the important one. Tomorrow is incidental motions, which are, again, not as boring as you think. Larry always makes it fun, and if not, I'll do my best. Bouncing between what's happening tomorrow and last week, I forgot that we had Sonia Airy on. I don't know why I've got these all mixed up. This is what happens when I don't have Marcus, Laura.
Oh, that's right.
You know.
That's right. We had her on Monday. Shoot, I completely forgot. She was awesome.
She was.
We loved her.
She was great. She's running against a dick face.
Yeah.
In California. I'm sure that doesn't help her, but yeah, I don't know if you guys go back and watch that. Share that video. She was phenomenal. Appreciate her running. I don't even remember the deal that was going on with that guy. Oh, that's right. No, I remember. This was okay. I remember. It took me a minute. You guys, this is the Democrat that is backed by the Democratic Party that is also for single-payer Medicare for all. Mm-hmm. She's like that anomaly, that Randy Bryce in California, only better looking without a mustache. Anyway, just, you know, no offense, Randy. You're not my type. You guys talking about Density. Hey, Density, how you doing? Chemo. Good to see you guys. That's all right. Go back and watch.
We saved it for you, Chemo.
Yeah. Anyway, she was great. Glad to have her on. Laura, I haven't got anything else now that we've chopped this to pieces.
Hey, we did okay. Just the two of us.
Yeah, just the two of us.
So what's story? So what do we have? What's music story time? You've got an interesting sequence of slides there.
I got all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
I know it's. That's what we need to call them. These Democrats that are backed by party and embrace progressive values, they're unicorn Democrats. You're absolutely fucking right, Melissa.
Yeah.
Is anybody who thought we couldn't find one? Bernie's a unicorn Democrat because he magically becomes a Democrat just to run and help push them towards those values, right? That's awesome. It's like Carlin. I don't know. Are we stealing jokes?
They were talking about Buddy Christ earlier, and that was from Dogma again.
Buddy Christ not looking so. That Buddy image not so good right now with all that's going down with the Catholic scandal and Pope Fran condemning and saying all the things, which I'm glad, but still, you got a lot of work to do, church. 2,000 years of complete horror. Masked by donate, basically what I think of the church. Anyway, moving on. I got a lot of music story time, folks. But something that I wanted to bring up, I don't know if you guys remember, there was a little blip in the world about Idris Elba.
Oh, yeah.
Black actor possibly being chosen to be the replacement for James Bond. Which, as a kid, I love James Bond.
Yeah.
I love he's cool. He's, a spy, and he had all these cool gadgets, and I really probably just wanted to be Q, honestly. But James Bond was cool to watch. And Idris Elba was going to be the first, like, African-American Bond, and everybody's like, yeah, jump on it. And then he was like, no, don't believe the hype. Not going to happen. Everybody's like, oh, all right. Another suggestion was brought up, and I actually think this would work. If you want to blow stereotypes away, Wallace Shawn. Now, this is an Onion article, and I'm going to just say it is. No, it's not. I think this is very conceivable.
No, conceivable. You got to get a list in there.
It's conceivable. This is what I got. Two comments on this. The name is Bond, James Bond, and then conceivable, because he really, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, in today's age, just stick him in a suit, right? Don't stick him in a jumpsuit. You know? Stick him in a jumpsuit. He would be the return of the funny Bond. Right?
Yeah, and he could have iocane powder in his watch.
That's good. That's a good one.
Thank you. I have my moments.
He may have already developed an immunity. You never know.
Yes.
So anyway, I thought that was a great idea. Hey, Jimmy. Idris would be cool too. I just, Anyway, this is the outro. I got a couple. So actually, we're not there yet. That's the UNC protest. That's my dad's. I tell you a story. My dad told me a story about Silent Sam. But before that, I just want a realization that I had, and I can't play the video. What's going on with our climate right now? The up and down, the extremes of the temperatures, because it's just continually changing, is exactly what they did with the Genesis planet in Star Trek 3. Go back and watch Star Trek 3 and listen to McCoy's quote about the Genesis planet. God did it in 7 days. But look, here comes Genesis. We can do it in 7 hours. And that's exactly what we've done by speeding up our climate and global warming. And now we have these trends of extremes that are completely fucking our world. Anyway, I just realized that. It's like, holy shit, we're like actually making sci-fi come true.
Every day.
Every day. There's no such thing as R&D. You realize the rapid cycle, that exponential increasing cycle that scientists feared we were going to fall into with climate? We're in it. We're in it. Anyway, on to the end of the story. Silent Sam's real story. This was a big deal in, and it's actually continuing today because now there's a whole bunch of people protesting, the protesters. Silent Sam was a statue that commemorated the Confederate soldiers that died in the Civil War. It was erected in 1919 by a bunch of people who were still butthurt over the Confederate War, apparently, and still enjoying racism. So a bunch of people knocked it down. It's at the University of North Carolina. My father went to the University of North Carolina in the 60s. And so we had a very interesting perspective. And when I shared the article with him about the fact that they'd taken Silent Sam down, he responded to me and he wrote the true story, or what they used to say about Silent Sam. And I thought I'd give you this perspective. Although the reason for taking down the statue is very serious, what Silent Sam meant to male students for many decades is actually funny. Sam was silent because, and no news reports have said this, he fired his gun only when a virgin walked past. In my 4 years there, Sam's gun was silent. One Sunday, my mother drove down with my high school sweetheart, and I foolishly decided to walk them by Sam. After they'd passed by Sam, I told them why his gun didn't go off. It was not well received. Love, Dad.
Dad.
You may use this as your source. So,
there you go.
I'm guessing they told that story because it was a hell of a lot better than explaining to people that it was a racist Confederate statue commemorating racist Confederates. But in the 60s, my dad was still in the middle of a very racist South. And UNC was no different. There was a lot of turmoil. My dad, however, was on the other side of things, right? So, I mean, this is right in the middle of the big civil rights struggle. And I just find it interesting that that's the story that was told, and I want to know the real reason. Was it to cover up the embarrassment of that statue, or just really to tell a fun story to piss off your mom? Anyway, that's Silent Sam. Doesn't tie into the music. The music actually ties into the show Glow. I was talking about this with Laura Liebig. I just had to tell the Silent Sam story about racism. If you guys need a break, just anybody who remembers the 80s and liked them, that would be me. Any other people from that era. This is a nice break. Glow is a show on Netflix. It's the gorgeous ladies of wrestling, or glamorous ladies of wrestling, and it really doesn't have a lot to do with wrestling. I mean, they wrestle and it's there, but it's more about the relationships, and it's more about feminism and women and what they had to deal with in the 80s. And, you know, as a kid growing, I was a teenager. I was 15 in 1985, just to give you perspective. This gives me a very different perspective on things because I watched wrestling. So I was like, wow. All right. They've got a great soundtrack. And the song they played on the episode I watched last night, which was pretty goddamn heavy, was Missing Persons, Destination Unknown. And it just made me think about us and our destiny as human beings. Our destination is unknown. Although we have a pretty good idea.
Yeah, as I was going to say. And it's not pretty.
Yeah. And we have control over that if we want, you know? So, anyway, we're just going to go out with that. We can't go out with the original version, which I'm sure you... Did you like Missing Persons, Laura? Did you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
That's what I think of.
I like Missing Persons, but all the original 80s stuff is like owned by corporate interests. So Missing Persons re-recorded this at some later date, and we're going to use the new re-recorded, remastered version because that one's okay to play. And it sounds close enough. It's not a Glee version. I should have looked for a Glee version. It's probably one. Anyway, if you want a nice break and you can access Netflix, watch Glow. It's a distraction, but it's a hell of a lot better distraction than 45.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Be safe, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. See you next week.
Yeah. Thank you all for being here. Here we go. I don't even have it ready. Oh, fuck. I didn't even show you the warming stripes.
The what?
Damn. We'll do that next week.
Okay.
Google warming stripes and the lab book. They just published an article that shows our heat in time frame as barcodes. It's frightening.
Yeah.
The representation is frightening. Destination unknown. Well, not really. Bye, everybody.
Life is so strange when you don't know. How can you tell where you're going to? You can't be sure of any situation. Something could change and then you won't know.